Assalamu alaikum. Real Madrid 2, Benfica 1, and aggregate results is 3-1. And now we're through to the round of 16 where we're either versing Manchester City or Sporting. Either or, it's not going to be an easy match. I hope you guys are doing well, but let's talk about this match really quick. If you guys have not realized, I am fasting, right? And I have to break my fast, I think, in literally like 40 minutes. So I have to try my best to record this very quick, and then I have to go break my fast. But anyways, so I want to talk about the first thing that happened in this match, and that was Benfica's first goal, right? And something that was horrible is the lack of positioning. Now, first, hold up. Let me take you guys back, right? So the cross came from the right-hand side. Well, I think it was our right-hand side, whatever it may be. And it was Camavinga, right? It was Camavinga, the one who was defending. And Camavinga allowed him to run past behind him, right? So that's the first mistake. The second mistake was Trent not covering that person all the way on the other side of the post. That's the second mistake. Asencio, whoever wants to blame Asencio for that goal, it was not his fault. Asencio did what he had to do. It's easy to put the blame on him because he tried to go for an own goal. It was going to be an own goal, but he did what he had to do and tried to slide tackle to prevent the goal from happening. The goal didn't happen because of him. It happened because of a deflection from Courtois. So whoever's trying to put the blame on Asencio, trying to say that it's Asencio, trying to say that it was because of him that goal happened, if Asencio never made that tackle, that ball was going to go straight into that person's leg or that player's leg who Trent was supposed to defend because he was the closest one by him. And you have to think about it in real time. Everything happened so quick. Asencio just reacted, right? That's the first thing I wanted to say. Second thing, which is supposed to be the first thing that I was supposed to say, is I hope Asencio gets well, feels well, and gets better. I don't know what really happened. I didn't see any neck injury, but obviously we're not the player, so we don't know exactly what happened to him. But I do hope that he recovers. I hope that's nothing serious because, neck injuries, neck and the head is very, very, very scary injury. So I hope that he gets his rest. I hope that he recovers quickly because we do need him. A lot of people, a lot of the players, not players, a lot of the fans wants to say that Asencio is a liability. I don't see him as a liability. I see him as a great defender who plays for the badge. And everybody makes mistakes. I don't see him making the most mistakes in Real Madrid. So I can't be the one who to put the blame on him. But yeah, that's regarding of the first goal. Our defensive line as well. They're not really in sync. So let's look at the lineup really quick. This is the lineup that I think Arbeloa had no choice but to play. It had no sync at all. For example, sometimes we would see Carreras, right? Carreras, who's supposed to be, this is his position right here. If he wants to attack, he attacks on this side. If he wants to make crosses, he would cross from over here, right? The main problem is that Carreras would end up drifting to the middle. And drifting at some point in the match. I don't know when. I saw him on the right-hand side. Now, I don't know if it's part of the game plan, but like I said, there's no game plan for this team. The game plan for this team or the tactics for the coaches to control everybody's ego, to make sure that everybody knows their role, and that's about it. Other than that, there's no specific tactic. If you look at Xabi Alonso's tactics, the way he would set up the team, you guys would notice a huge difference. This team was unorganized from the defense to the offense. Even though we got the win, I am not going to let this blind me. I'm happy. We're through to the round of 16. I'm really happy about that. I celebrated both our goals, but there's huge issues. And for us to struggle, for Vinny to go through what he went through, for the players to fight and make it past this round, just for us to get knocked out the next round or even the following round, is not going to be worth it. That is my whole point. We have to stay organized. We don't have no organization in the team. Tell me not. Valverde, who's supposed to be right here, he got 2 assists. Great for him. Why would I see him end up playing as a striker? I don't get it. Like, yes, trust me, I would love Valverde to play wherever. I trust him wherever he wants to play. Midfield, forward, defense. But let's say he plays as a forward. That's less bodies in the midfield. Let's say he plays back. That's less bodies in the midfield. So I think it's very important for Valverde to kind of have that freedom to roam around. But when we saw him throughout the match, it was like consistently where I was actually worried that, that right-hand side where he was supposed to be at is going to be open. And we found Trent being in a 1v1 situation, which is, I don't really trust Trent being in a 1v1 situation unless he does have somebody to back him up. So that was something that's very scary. But at the same time, I'm very happy to see Valverde get on the score sheet and get 2 assists, even though there was this one goal where he was supposed to finish it, but he couldn't get it. Where, I guess it happens, but he should have finished that cross. I think it was from Trent from the right-hand side, and then he couldn't place it. He couldn't place the ball to his feet, and he couldn't find the back of the net. But let's keep going. Something that I didn't want to say is that even the commentator said it, right? Where in the first half, right, when you focus on our first half, both defense and offense, right, the best word that I could use to describe our performance was laziness, or if you want to say everybody's sleepy. Sleepy, laziness, same thing. It was just that there was no effort being put. For example, Vinícius Jr., I'm happy to see him get a goal. I'm happy to see him score. But there was no pressing. There was no effort. Gonzalo Garcia at the same time, when he's playing in that role as a winger, he presses a lot. But now he got placed at the striker. I didn't see him press a lot, as much as he's supposed to. You know what I'm trying to say? But it's very hard for Gonzalo Garcia to press and then Vinícius Jr. to not press, right? And now that we're on the topic of pressing, let me talk about our pressing being horrible compared to when we had Xabi Alonso. When this team presses, it's so inconsistent. Or they're just, what did I put? I put our pressing is sloppy. Our pressing is sloppy. There's no organization to pressing. At the very least, right? Because, look, I watch both Barca and Real Madrid. So when you look at Barcelona pressing, at the very least, we know their identity. We know how they press. Who presses with what? When to press. Who is watching what? You know what I'm trying to say? Like, but this team is just pressing by themselves and, like, they're not looking around. Or sometimes it's very easy for them to say, hey, I'm pressing, like for Vinícius Jr. to say, hey, I'm pressing, why don't you push up? But then that, like, ruins the whole momentum of the game. That's not making everything go naturally or make the game run smoother. So, yeah, even though I'm very happy that we got the win, I'm very happy that we are through to the next round. It's not like it's going to get any easier because we have Sporting or Manchester City, I believe, if I'm not wrong. And as you guys know, we have a history with Manchester City. As you guys know, in Sporting, they've been doing very good in the UCL. So we just have to wait and see. But something that I did want to highlight, that I've been saying it, right, about our organization is that has to be solved. I've been saying about when Mbappe was playing with us where, you know, he doesn't know his positioning, where he's just drifting around. This game, a bunch of times where players are not making the proper runs. A lot of the times where we're just holding the ball, waiting for somebody to display individual brilliance, right? We're waiting for Vinícius Jr. to do something magical. We're waiting for Valverde to hit a magical shot. We're waiting for Trent to do a cross. There's not enough team movement. There's no organization as a team to form a goal, to formulate a goal. The first team goal, Tchouaméni. After that, it was Vinícius Jr. on the counter. So, really, when you look at it, there's no really organization. And that's something that's very scary. When you look at teams like Sporting, Manchester City, Arsenal, Bayern, Barcelona, they play as a team. But we're filled with players that want to display individual brilliance and not play as an actual team. Because, yes, there's moments, 1-2 moments where we kind of connect, where it looks like we have chemistry. But other than that, for a majority of the match, I could guarantee you that you guys remember how many times that Vinícius Jr. got the ball and everybody was just waiting for him to do something, and then he would pass it back. Plenty of time where Valverde had the ball. We're waiting for somebody to make a run into the box. Nobody made a run. Arda Güler had the ball, and he's looking around. Nobody's making runs. Nobody's doing anything, just waiting for them. They're waiting to get the ball and then do a play, which is wrong. Not nobody, but there's a lot of us that are, like, just lazy. And moving forward, I don't think it's okay, and we have to make that change. Now, look, our next game is going to be in La Liga against Getafe, and like I said, they are the haram ball kings, or like many of you guys say, them in Arsenal, Atletico Madrid. We have a lot of injuries. If you look at our list, we don't even know what happened to Asencio, so we just got to wait and see. But playing against haram ball is very dangerous, and this performance right here, even though they displayed very, decent performance, I just think it has to be better moving forward because, like I said, results cannot blind you from what's actually the truth. Now, I love the way Vinícius got his goal. I love the way Tchouaméni scored that brilliant goal. But you guys see that what it takes for us to get a goal is through individual brilliance from Vinícius Jr. or has to take that one magical shot. For example, Tchouaméni. We need to see connection. We need to see a dynamic in this team because this team can go on to win everything that they compete in. But it just depends on how they're managed. And as of right now, it looks like they don't have a manager. And when we did have a manager, they didn't want that manager. So it's like we're like really in a tricky situation. It's not, we don't have any answers. But let me know what you guys think. What you think about this game? What you think about the performance for Real Madrid? And who do you guys got next, whether we face Manchester City or Sporting? Leave it in the comments below. Thank you, everybody, for those who like, comment, and especially share. And especially for those who subscribe. But a lot of you guys are not subscribed. So make sure that you do subscribe. It helps out a lot. Very much. And it will help me maintain my sanity throughout Ramadan. Thank you very much. And until then, Assalamu alaikum.